Hi, welcome to Gastric Cancer Awareness Month with Raquel. Today's topic, we're going to talk about risk factors for gastric cancer. I'm going to break these down into three different categories: environmental, dietary, and genetic. So most people who follow me on here are probably following because of genetic gastric cancer, and so I will talk about all those individual syndromes separately in separate videos, so stay tuned. Mostly what we'll cover today is environmental and dietary, and I'll probably go into dietary a little bit more because I think that's interesting. When you consider environmental exposures, the biggest one is H. pylori. Why is that an environmental exposure? It's because an infection that you get from the environment that affects your stomach lining, it increases your risk of gastric cancer. Also, having had previous radiation increases your risk, and then just working in industrial areas. I saw a couple papers that mentioned working in rubber factories. So being exposed to toxins increases your risk. As far as dietary, the biggies is high salt diet, processed foods, red meats, and foods high in nitrates. So that's a lot of pickled things. Those all dramatically increase your risk of gastric cancer. Obesity increases your risk. I don't think that's a direct cause. It's probably more of a causation, meaning if you're obese, you're probably not having the healthiest diet. You're eating high processed foods, high salty foods, etc. And the same goes for socioeconomic status. So higher rates of poverty are associated with higher rates of gastric cancer. I think that's the same thing. You just don't have access to good quality food, so you're eating a lot of highly processed, high salt, and foods high in nitrates. Alcohol, particularly beer, not super great. Tastes delicious, but not great for your stomach and your cancer risk. And then also, the older you get, the higher risk you are for all-cause cancers. Did I mention smoking? Don't do it. It increases your risk for gastric cancer. It increases your risk for all cancers. It increases your risk for cardiovascular disease. It increases your risk for death and stroke and everything. So, 2025, why are we smoking? Also, vaping, not that great either. So, that's just some of the highlights for risk factors. If you have questions about going into that more, let me know below. Like I said, I'll go into diet and some other stuff later. Okay, thanks. Bye.